Hey there everybody, so I've decided that I'm going to add a new segment to my channel, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, just sort of waiting to get a sense of what the best approach would be, because we live in a time of sound bites, and I happen to be the type of person who really appreciates sinking my brain into deep thoughts that take time to really kind of submerge myself in and swim around in. I think that's, the way the creative process works too. So I'm not a fan of shorts, I'm not a fan of TikTok, I'm not a fan of things that go by really quickly. Even those reels on YouTube, it's just like I want to kind of sit and appreciate the thinking process and take things in slowly. I've had to forego that preference in order to do something on YouTube that would be informative and get right to the point, and I'm going to do this in 10 minutes. So what I'm going to entitle these segments is, let's see, 10, tuning in for 10. How's that? Tuning in for 10, or quicker, because we're going for speed here. 10-minute tune-in. And so today's topic is going to be Tim Walz. Some alliteration. We're doing some alliteration here. So Tim Walz is Kamala Harris's VP pick. There was a lot of confusion around that. For me, it felt like attempting to call the Super Bowl, or the World Series, which is always highly challenging. Josh Shapiro was in the running. My preference was Mark Kelly. They all were kind of showing up as favorable, so that, at certain points. So that got a little confusing. But I'm going to do 10 minutes for the 10-minute tune-in on Tim Walz. And while I'm shuffling the cards, I just want to mention that I am in the process of planning a quick trip to Washington, D.C. for a Glenn Kirshner event. And the only way I can really do it, because business has been very slow for months now. My business is solely dependent on your donations and attracting, readings and, spiritual life coaching. So, I am planning to go. I just need to get the funds together. So if you want to donate, you can send a check to my P.O. box, which is in the description. I would greatly appreciate it. Or in the tip jar. Those two, if you send a check and write in the subject, the note, for a DC trip, or if you put a donation in the tip jar, that will go to my DC trip, which will be August 23rd through the 25th. To meet with Glenn Kirshner and to hang out with his Patreon members, and to see if we can get that song out and really save our democracy. 3 cards on Tim Walz. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. And tonight we have our Grassroots of Democracy guided meditation for a healed America. Staying with the spirit of alliteration, 20 on Tuesdays. And if you're not already signed up, go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com and sign up for that. That's tonight, every single Tuesday. Oh, Tim Walz. So what I'm asking about is the rollout of Tim Walz as the presidential candidate, the vice presidential candidate. I have the 9 of Swords, which is, we're going to really start to see, let me just put it this way, this gentle, sweet, cuddly teddy bear of a man being raked over the coals. But he's tough. He's a military guy. I think he can do it. I think he can handle it. And the Temperance card is, we'll have to take kind of a wait and see how this plays out in terms of how MAGA's going to respond. I'm actually a little bit relieved because of the anti-Semitism that's out there. Believe it or not, it's I never can believe it. But Shapiro would have brought that up. Not that that's a reason not to be a VP pick, but, and I'm not saying Kamala didn't choose Shapiro because of that he's Jewish. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that the MAGAs were ready to attack. So now they don't have that. The anti-Semites don't have a Jewish guy to attack. I hate that I'm saying that. Anyway, because it's just so ridiculous. It's as bad as them attacking Kamala for being half Indian and half Jamaican. And the Seven of Pentacles is there's going to be a lot of work. It's like to bash down that racism and that, you know, anti-Semitism and all that is just, it's just so much work. So that's the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. But this is also pointing to how exhausted the American people are with this hatred and this ridiculousness and this juvenile bullying. And it's just, this is how exhausted we are. We're tired of losing sleep over things, and we're just so done with all this work. And it's like, come on, let's get something moving. So this does also give us a little time to pause, see how the dust settles on her new VP vice presidential candidate pick. And there is a castle in the background, so it's a little bit of a journey to the castle. But let's see, let's ask the pendulum. I'm watching the timer here. Let's ask the pendulum, how much benefit will this be? 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yeah, she made the right pick. It's 90% benefit to the Kamala Harris campaign. Harris for President campaign. Excellent pick. In my mind, I'm really grateful that she's gone for somebody who knows about the farmers and the rural communities, because he has lived it. And I think it's an awesome pick for that reason. Especially, I talk often, especially at Church of Spirituality, about our need to save our topsoils, to save our food supply by paying attention to the farmers and our agriculture. And, you know, when it comes down to food, Tim Walz knows, he knows that whole community, and he can speak. He's a progressive, but he can also speak to people from those rural communities. He's pro-union, he's pro-voters' rights, he's pro-women's rights. He's a dad, he has daughters. I don't know how many. This just happened, so I haven't really looked up to find out a lot about him. And he's normal. The others are too. Tim has the added advantage and benefit to this campaign of bringing in the people, the massive amounts of people that are in rural communities that got sucked in by Trump and just treated like crap, you know. So I see I have a minute and a half left. So let's just choose 3 cards about, and these 10-minute tune-ins will be just like 1 or 2 subjects max. So how Kamala is doing now. We're just going to read on the good people today. How Kamala is doing right now. 10 of Cups, she's attracting a lot of money. The message is getting out very clearly. The Death card, I keep getting around the Democrats, which is indicating it's not a negative card. It's indicating that this is a brand new time for America. All the rules, all these expectations have shifted in a good way, not a bad way. All the expectations of, like, the old ways don't work anymore. So this is a brand new race. It's, talk about time speeding up. It's a brand new race, and we are having to work really hard. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. We got to do everything we can to close this deal. All right. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button, the notification bell, and join us. And please book a reading, psychic@dion.com. And thank you to those of you who have donated to me and are helping me to get this trip rolling to Washington, D.C. All right, and I'd be broadcasting, live streaming from there. Oh boy, I went overtime. All right, see you tonight or see you tomorrow for PNN. Namaste.